The latest edition of Rand Merchants Bank's Where to Invest in Africa report assesses each African country's investment potential by overlaying macroeconomic fundamentals with the practicalities of doing business on the continent. In its latest report, most of the countries that normally share the top 10 spots remain on the list, with the exception of Tunisia, that has returned to the field at number 10, while Ivory Coast and Ghana edge ever closer to the top 5. North Africa remains dominant, with Morocco displacing South Africa in the rankings, rising to second place. Nigeria is at number 8. Egypt remains at number 1. Adnan Chawocha reports on Tunisia's rise to the number 10 spot.
Tunisia has returned to Africa's top 10 most attractive countries for investors, ranking 10th in the 9th edition of RMB Investment Attractiveness Ranking, Where to Invest in Africa 2020 report that has been released by the South African Rand Merchants Bank, RMB.
This positive ranking is the result of the government strategies in recent years to reinforce Tunisia's attractiveness and competitiveness as an investment destination. Tunisia ranks among the top 5 in Africa in the World Bank's Doing Business report on reforms to improve the climate of investment.
Ziad Laveri added that Tunisia's new investment law allows freedom of investment and grants open access to the Tunisian market.
Tunisia has released the Horizontal Investment Law, which cancelled 20% of administrative authorizations for investors to realize their projects. Tunisia's attractiveness capacity increased by 28% this year.
The Finance Commission at Parliament gave priority to industrial projects in inner regions with high employability and technical expertise.
These investments have a high added value, like planes and automotive components and renewable energy. These projects have generated thousands of jobs, especially for highly skilled and qualified workforce.
With the revision of economic activities requiring prior authorization, foreigners can freely invest in all sectors covered by the law and can own up to 100% of the project's capital without authorization.
Total freedom of foreign participation in the capital for offshore companies, freedom of access to land ownership for the realization of investment, and freedom to transfer funds abroad are some of the incentives put in place by the Tunisian government and parliament to improve the climate.